Surely not. Surely not. But here we are at the Santiago Bernabeu, where the craziest of things have happened in the Champions League. This is Real Madrid's tournament, and that's why we are here. 3-0 down. It might be improbable for any other team in the world, but you can never count out this team. They haven't been in the best form leading up to this. But my, oh my, every team has got a sob story at the Santiago Bernabeu when they face Real Madrid. But will Arsenal reach their first semi-final since 2009? Well, they're in a perfect situation here, 3-0 up after the first leg, and PSG await the winner of this clash in the semi-finals. And in the other one, we've got Inter Milan, who are hosting Bayern Munich after their 2-1 victory at the Allianz Arena, going nearly full strength apart from Denzel Dumfries in their starting lineup. Bayern Munich having a few changes having to be made, especially at left back where Stanisic is playing for Bayern, but otherwise they've got a very strong team. Can Bayern overturn that deficit? And can Real Madrid do the same here? Much changed lineup for them. You can see the likes of Tchouaméni coming back into the starting lineup with Camavinga picking up that second red card right at the end. So it's going to be a changed midfield pivot of Fede Valverde and Aurelien Tchouaméni in the pivot. And then you know the front three of Real Madrid. It's Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. As Martin Odegaard, the skipper for Arsenal, comes back to the ground where Real Madrid had taken a punt on him all those years back, nearly 10 years to this date, where Odegaard featured for Real Madrid for the first time. You can see Eduardo Camavinga waiting on the sidelines. His petulance made it impossible for him to play this game, and we're off and running. Real Madrid kicking things off here. They will be looking for a fast start. They know that a goal early on, and they're very much in business. They've been here, done that. Arsenal, for them, this is new. This is brand new for this manager and these sets of players. So it is going to be so interesting to see how Arsenal actually play, because they are a front foot team. They like to press. They like to get on it and dictate play. But will Real Madrid allow? This stadium is going to be a nuisance for Real Madrid. Lucas Vazquez, the skipper for this evening, playing at right back today. That's one of the changes that Ancelotti has made. Sticking with the rest of the team. He knows that he can't tinker too much in the forward areas. But Martinelli getting on the ball early on as Valverde makes the challenge. Fede Valverde and Aurelien Tchouaméni, a different midfield proposition for Arsenal to answer as Declan Rice on the ball, the man with two unbelievable free kicks. I mean, no one saw that coming. I don't think Declan Rice has scored a free kick in his career, but he scored two of his dreams in that match at the Emirates last week. Carlo Ancelotti, he has seen bigger things. He has done massive stuff in the things of football, but this one, maybe a bridge too far for him to climb here. Fede Valverde. And that right, I think Real Madrid will be playing with a midfield three rather than a pivot, with Tchouaméni holding and Bellingham on the left and maybe Valverde on the right. For Arsenal, no surprises in their team news. You knew that Gabriel is injured, so Kivior comes back. He had a decent game against Mbappe in the first leg. Timber on the ball immediately, and now Madrid pinch it, and here's Mbappe running at the defense. It's Vinicius on the left-hand side. Early attack for Real Madrid here. It's Vinicius Jr. off balance, and it's Mbappe who scores, but he's clearly offside. And that's all it takes for Real Madrid. A moment just like that. The forward players are electrifying. All they need is a sniff here. Look at Mbappe. He laid it off, and quickly he made his way into the box. He's more than 5 yards offside, but that is the early warning sign. And Arsenal cannot go into their shell. They played unbelievably well in the first leg. They barely gave Real Madrid a kick. So it's important, it's crucial for them that they try and weather the early storm, but also look to play some football here. For Arsenal, they know if they can score a goal, they can pretty much kill off this tie here. For all of Arsenal's failure, they're defensively so good. Throughout the season, we have seen that they don't concede more than 1 or max 2 goals, let alone 3. So Real Madrid will have to pull out all the stops, all the voodoo that they have. Might be a foul there, but Bellingham does very well Here's Thomas Partey. He'll know a bit about this ground with his association with Atletico Madrid all those years back. On the right-hand side is Bukayo Saka up against David Alaba. Here's Saka, drives past him with ease. Saka, such a tricky winger, man. He's so good to watch. Here's Partey, who's been robbed off the ball, far too casual there. And here's Mbappe looking to run again. Mbappe has got his sights very much set and lays it off to Vinicius Jr. now. Vinicius up against Saliba. Mbappe again in the box. It's Vinicius with the outside of the boot pass and easily cleared by Lewis Kelly. And now Arsenal can counter here. Brisk start here. Oh, that's a nasty foul early on. Might be the first yellow card already. And it is. David Alaba was going to be walking on a tightrope here. That's a terrible decision by David Alaba to go flying in there so early on. And what are you thinking? A man of his experience, you cannot be doing that. That is poor. That is very poor. And now he'll have to be very, very cautious against one of the trickiest wingers in the world in Bukayo Saka. 4 minutes on the clock and fully expected Real Madrid to be gung-ho, full throttle, making those early challenges. They'll be desperate for that early goal. Mikel Arteta in foreign territory here in terms of the Champions League quarterfinals. He's about 85 minutes away from reaching a semi-finals for Arsenal for the first time since 2009. Boy, oh boy, they have gone through some pain to get to this stage here. Here's Merino. What a brilliant goal he scored. The first time finish right into the bottom corner. And that was a game that Thibaut Courtois played out of his mind and still conceded 3. Here's Martinelli. Rice, back to Lewis Kelly, who was so impressive in the first leg. For me, he was the man of the match. I know Declan Rice scored the goals and had a very good game, but Lewis Kelly was just brilliant, man. His confidence, his ability to turn just like that, right on cue, gets the foul. What an outstanding player he is with his full future ahead of him. Just 18 years of age. Bellingham can have no complaints there. Bellingham with the tucked shirt. We saw that in the first leg as well. It's a bit of a throwback. On the left-hand side is Gabriel Martinelli up against Lucas Vazquez. Easily gets past him, ball into the box, cleared by Asensio. It's a bit of a scramble here. Odegaard does very well. Timber lays it off to Bukayo Saka. It's Saka with the strike. Oh, it's just wide on his right foot. With clear intentions there from Arsenal. They know that they want that goal to kill this tie off as quickly as possible. Even a goal early on for them. You never know with Real Madrid, but this is a bright start this from Arsenal. Tight angle would take something very special to beat Thibaut Courtois from there. Here's Bellingham. It's a sea of white at the Santiago Bernabeu, man. Definitely something on my bucket list. Have to go and watch a game in the stadium once again. Here's Mbappe with the ball in. Martinelli helps out defensively. Nice first touch there by Merino. Here's Rodrigo, who had a very quiet first leg. He was virtually anonymous. You need to step up. He is known for scoring clutch goals. Scored one against Chelsea late on. I remember when under Tuchel, he scored 2 in extra time when Real Madrid knocked out Manchester City as the ball comes in. Here's Rodrigo on the right-hand side. Vazquez for support. Rodrigo goes around the outside as the ball flashed into the box. Well cleared. Well, Real Madrid have pinned Arsenal back here, completely different from the first leg here. On the right-hand side is Lucas Vazquez. Oh, it's easily intercepted. That's a poor pass there. And Arsenal on the break here. On the left-hand side, Gabriel Martinelli has acres of room here. He can push and run. Here's the Brazilian up against Asensio. Decides to stop and play to Declan Rice. Oh, Martinelli's got a heavy challenge as well. Real Madrid with the clear instructions of flying into the challenges. Here's Saka up against Alaba. Bukayo Saka. Oh, he's dived again. And the strike, it's a brilliant save. Thibaut Courtois parries and parries very well. Bukayo Saka very much shoot on sight for the England international here. Try to just bend that into the corner. It's a very sharp save by Courtois. No one gets near him, and David Alaba is really struggling against Saka. Can't get near him. He's already on a yellow card there. That's a heavy foul by Asensio. He's very lucky not to pick up a yellow card in that one. 7.5 minutes on the clock for all the talk of the remontada. It's been Arsenal with the efforts, and they've got the game's first corner. Gabriel Martinelli looking busy down that left-hand side. He knows he has a different proposition this time. In the first leg, he played against, one-on-one really against Federico Valverde. This time against Lucas Vazquez. So might find a bit more joy because Vasquez has not had the best of seasons. Every Real Madrid fan will be the first one to point out as Arsenal, with 8 minutes on the clock, have the game's first corner here. Kvyat, Saliba, Thomas Partey, all in the box as they look to attack as Rice delivers. Decent delivery there, and Courtois gathers right on top of the crossbar there, looking for the quick release. Arsenal quickly back into their shape here as Jude Bellingham dropping very deep to try and build up here. Again, no Luka Modric, no Camavinga as a changed midfield pair for Real Madrid. Tchouaméni to Valverde. He's almost playing as a inverted right back as Lucas Vasquez is playing as a right winger. Whether or not that changes, we'll see, as Vasquez playing high and wide down that right-hand side. Here's Vinicius Jr. Vinicius again. Teasing. Brilliant run this by Vinicius. He's done very well. Here's Rodrigo on the left-hand side. Bellingham, Mbappe nearly getting there. Declan Rice does so well to nick the ball off and then leads the counter-charge here. Declan Rice striding forward. Plenty of bodies in support here for Arsenal. Here's Saka, who looks so dangerous in the early stages. Saka up against Rudiger. Does very well. Rudiger lays it off. Brilliant pass. Odegaard tries to just lay it off to Saka. It's a brilliant challenge. Tchouaméni had to get there first, and he did. Well, Arsenal are clearly targeting their right-hand side here. They know that they have the overload. They have Declan Rice running there, and Saka always making the runs. Having a look here for a check. Now, whether or not it's for a penalty, this would be very, very curious to see. Is that Rudiger's challenge on Bukayo Saka? Let's have a look here. It's in the corner, really. Oh, Asensio has... Look, he's made the foul on Mikel Merino. He's not looking at the ball, but the ball is nowhere near him. So can't really give this as a penalty, although it is a foul, and it's so needless from Raul Asensio. The referee is having a long look here. I think he should be happy with this. He might just give it, you know. Oh my goodness, he's given the penalty. It is Raul Asensio's block-off challenge on Mikel Merino, and it has gone all pear-shaped here for Real Madrid. It is terrible defending from Asensio. You cannot do that, but the ball was nowhere near that. He has completely got both arms around Mikel Merino, and the referee, who's been urged to have a look at the screen, has given the penalty. Goodness me. For all the quality, all the subplots in this match, it's the most loosest penalty. It is so loose. You cannot be conceding a penalty like that. Lucas Vasquez is pleading the case, but it's a useless case that he's pleading here. Arsenal get the penalty, and what a chance this is for Arsenal to kill the tie off 10 minutes into the match here. Raul Asensio, yes, he's a youngster, but he has got so much experience in the season already. You cannot make the foul. And it's Martin Odegaard who seems to have the ball here. This is very surprising, knowing that Bukayo Saka is their preferred penalty taker. Now, whether or not it's just a folly, we'll wait and see. But it's Odegaard up against Thibaut Courtois. Courtois not the best at saving penalties. I know it from his time at Chelsea, but this could kill things off right here, right now. Well, it's Odegaard who does the right thing here. He takes the pressure and then lays it off to Bukayo Saka. It's Saka up against Thibaut Courtois. This could seal it and finish it. Saka up against Courtois. Courtois is an absolute monster in goal, but Saka's penalty record is excellent. Big moment here for Saka at the Santiago Bernabeu. The whole stadium holds its collective breath here. It's Bukayo Saka! Oh, he saved it! It's Courtois who makes the save. It's such a timid penalty by Bukayo Saka. Absolutely no conviction in it. And Real Madrid are off the hook here. Saka is known to hit the penalty with such trueness in his shot. It is such a weak penalty. He's just looked to chip that and hopes that Courtois dives the wrong way. He guesses correctly and palms that away. It's a massive lifeline there for Real Madrid. Bukayo Saka, what have you done? He's gone for the composure. Has to put his foot through it as Arsenal get a corner. This time the marking has to be better. They cannot concede another penalty, and that's exactly what the ref is saying. I've already warned you once, and I've conceded the penalty. You can see Rice is being attacked by the crowd. They're throwing things at him. They're going to make it as hostile as possible. Declan Rice to deliver the corner. Asensio is not going to put his arm around Moreno this time. Rice delivers at the front post. It's a disappointing delivery. It's easily cleared. Well, what a let-off that is. Massive, massive let-off. Fully expected the net to bulge with Bukayo Saka. And that's what pressure does. That's exactly what pressure does, man. It looks easy. We sit here and say, you know what, Saka, just put your foot through it. And 9 out of 10 times he probably does that. But with Courtois in goal, you have to make sure your penalty finds the corner with pace. Because if he guesses right, he's going to save it. That's a good ball into the channel. And is that the moment which just gives Real Madrid a bit of a lifeline, a bit of a boost here? What is it about Real Madrid and the Champions League at the stadium, man? It's absolutely crazy, but they haven't really got going. And full credit to Arsenal into the 15th minute, really, and haven't really troubled David Raya in goal. You want that early goal, but here's Rudiger. Valverde on the left-hand side is David Alaba. Again, they don't really have a creator in those central areas. There's a good switch by Valverde to Rodrigo down the right-hand side. Here's Lucas playing a quick 1-2 with Rodrigo. Gets it back. Trying to be as patient, as cultured as possible. Tchouaméni. Good pass there by Valverde. Mbappe lays it off to Vinicius Jr. Ball into the box again. Easily cleared. Kivio started well, and it's Vinicius on the left-hand side, trying to take on the challenge. Nicely cleared by Thomas Partey, and Arsenal looking to lead a break here, trying to be patient as the ball pumped into the corner. Passes like that will not help the cause, and that will just raise the intensity in the stadium. That goal would have completely killed off the atmosphere. I cannot understate the importance of that penalty save by Thibaut Courtois. Here's Mbappe laying it off on the left-hand side to Vinicius Jr. Vinicius on the left, trying to put the ball in. It's a good challenge there. Corner has been given. Timber cannot believe it. Jurriën Timber is an excellent 1v1 defender, but he will have his work cut out here. Oh, that's not even close to being a corner. That's a shocking decision. He's clearly hit that away, and Madrid get fortunate, and they have a corner kick here. They are to score. This might just raise a few eyebrows here. Ball in by Rodrigo. David Raya punches. From distance, they might decide to take a pop here. It's Vasquez. Vasquez with the strike, easily dealt with. And Vasquez again. It's another block, this time by Thomas Partey. Mbappe down the right-hand side, trying to take on his countryman, decides to take the throw in here. Real Madrid looking to step up the intensity. Valverde with the ball into the box. It's a decent delivery again into the channel. Here's Rodrigo, now playing on the left-hand side with Vinicius. They've not picked him up here. Vinicius with a very poor ball. It's Tchouaméni. Vasquez. Terrible touch. Rice easily deals with it. Here's Martinelli, caught in a cul-de-sac, but well defended. They're trying to raise the roof here with actions here, Real Madrid. Any sort of touches, they need a bit of inspiration. Here's Mbappe. No Mbappe, and all about the big moments. Here he is now. Clipped in. Oh, he can't find the pass there. You're talking about subplots and what things can happen. Well, Real Madrid, if they are to somehow find a way into the semi-finals, Kylian Mbappe plays against his former club here. We look at the penalty again. All Courtois had to do was guess right, because there was no power, there was no direction. Cannot do that, Saka. You can see the Real Madrid fans who are all the way up to the rafters. Look at Courtois' reaction, man. That tells the whole story there. It's 0-0 at the San Siro. As it stands, Inter Milan will be facing Barcelona in the semi-finals. A repeat of the 2010 Champions League, where Jose Mourinho famously pulled off the heist against Pep Guardiola and Barcelona, down to 10 men, at the Nou Camp for nearly 60 minutes as they held on. Here's Lewis Kelly showing real good strength there, but he's been robbed off the ball, but the foul has been spotted. Lewis Kelly, a powerful unit. Rodrigo clearly tugging on his arm. Good work there by Lewis Kelly. Shows a lot of personality in that midfield area, especially when he does get the ball. Doesn't shy away from taking on the man. Always looks to drive forward with the ball. Here's Kivior. Clip pass. It's a very poor pass. Arsenal just lacking their rhythm as Declan Rice just urging for calm there. Mikel Arteta, what must be going through his mind here? He knows that his team are well in control. Defensively, they are a rock as a team. Yes, no Gabriel Magalhaes, but they've got that Saliba, Rice, David Raya, all there. It should be a foul there on Rodrigo, trying to push Arsenal back here. Yep, clear foul there by Declan Rice. Will be all action. You can bet money on it. Outstanding in the first leg. Not just his 2 free kicks, which will get all the highlights, but his display completely stopping Real Madrid from playing. Long ball by Asensio. Saliba should be favourite, and he is. That battle between Saliba and Mbappe is going to be very special, man. Here's Bellingham on the left. On the ball fizzed in. Oh my goodness, that was a great ball in. Driven cross, and it's Rodrigo who makes the run. A lot of joy down the left-hand side here. Bellingham with a step over and then the driven ball across goal. Good work there by Kivior, making sure that he had marked Rodrigo on that occasion. Still no shot on goal here from Real Madrid. Nearly 20 minutes on the clock. Lewis Kelly with the throw in here. Arsenal fans, what are your nerves like? This is going to be the most painful 70 minutes as Mbappe gets the ball forward. This is just onto the right-hand side. Kylian Mbappe. It's outstanding defending by William Saliba. Getting the better of his countrymen there. William Saliba, one of the standout defenders in the world. There was a few links linking him to Real Madrid. Madrid have not really invested in their defense. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a bid at some point to William Saliba. Such is the quality of the French defender. Arsenal looking to play out the back here. Space has opened up in the midfield area. Here's Martinelli. Lets it go. That's very poor from the Brazilian. Has to get there first. He doesn't identify the space, but Thomas Partey does well. Here's Odegaard down the right-hand side. He's been put under immense pressure. Again, they rob the ball off on the left-hand side. Here's Vinicius Jr. Completely different Madrid side here. Vinicius Jr. Oh, Thomas Partey just gets across there. Referee very much on hand there to wave it off. Here's Rudiger. To Asensio, who will be breathing a huge sigh of relief after Thibaut Courtois' penalty save. Madrid have to score 3. Oh, that's a needless foul there. Jurrien Timber. It's so unnecessary. He's just trying to nick in and win the ball. It's a bit unnecessary. You can see where there's a clean win there by Vinicius when he did win the ball. Thomas Partey with a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there on Vinicius. Well spotted by the referee. Well, it's a free kick here for Real Madrid in a dangerous area now. They can swing that ball anywhere between that corridor of uncertainty. They're in business. Alaba on his left foot here. Arsenal have to be careful here. Now they know that the referee is very much capable of giving a penalty if they see any sort of infringement or holding. So they have to be careful. Let's have a look here. Partey and Rudiger, just shoulder to shoulder on that occasion. Both powerful players. Alaba on his left foot. Again, Asensio hits the deck here. Real Madrid will try everything that they have in terms of dark arts. Believe you me. They're going to try and bait the referee. They need a goal. They'll try any means possible as Alaba delivers such a poor delivery that Tchouameni recovers. He is onside. Vasquez, ball into the box. Looks to just head that back into the dangerous area. There, oh, he's given a penalty. Oh my goodness. Well, the referee has either lost his head or he has spotted something incredible here. Declan Rice cannot believe it. We have seen 2 penalties being given in the first 22 minutes And the yellow card has come out here. This is incredible. What is going on here? As Vasquez delivers the ball, what's happened here? I can't see the penalty here. It's Rice up against Mbappe. Oh, that's not a penalty, man. How is that a pen? He's got his arm around, yes, but he's not holding him back. That's completely different from Asensio on Merino. Rice gets the yellow card and concedes the penalty, and the roof might just blow off here if Kylian Mbappe scores this penalty. Saka missed. Mbappe cannot miss. They're going to check with VAR. I mean, if you ask me, that's not a pen. I can see why the Asensio one was a penalty, even though the ball was nowhere near him. You can see Asensio had no eyes on the ball. He just wanted to bring down Mikel Merino on that occasion. Rice is pleading his case. You can see Lucas Vasquez, he's saying that I tried the same thing. It did not work. They're going to have a look. How did he spot that, man? There was so much happening in the box. That is a very soft foul to give. They're going to have a look. They're going to have a check. Arsenal will find themselves hard done by, but they might have to get a move on here. Look at the ball in by Lucas Vasquez. It's a nothing ball. You can see it just flies over. Again, Mbappe is never getting near the ball, just like Merino in that first attempt. But this one is not as clear-cut as a foul there. So the referee has set a precedent here. He's given a foul for holding early on. So he's looking and saying that, is that consistency? But that's not a foul. You'll never get that in the Prem. But in the Champions League, clearly different rules are being followed here. Arteta cannot believe it. Rice is saying that he's having a cheeky word with Mbappe, saying that you bought that penalty. You tried to be as clever as possible. There's a huge check going on here. Nobody really having an idea what's happening. The referee is stone-faced. Mikel Arteta must be feeling the jitters. Brutal in the live chat says, bro, tell me a site where I can watch the match for free. Unfortunately, mate, gotta get subscription or find a dodgy website. You can have a look here or watch my watch along. Let's have a look here. So Mbappe is not offside. So they're trying to have a look whether or not he was offside on that occasion. Brutal, I'll try and provide you step by step, second by second live commentary here as the long check still goes on here. Look, in my opinion, if a check is going on for nearly 4 or 5 minutes, it's not clear cut. It really isn't. It's such a dangerous precedent when you do set that, but what's going to happen here? I think it's going to stand. You can see David Raya having a long word here. And after 4 minutes, the referee is now going to have a look at the screen. It's a bit comical, to be say the least, in such a massive game with such huge implications. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Look, he's already seen it. He spotted it. So how is he going to overturn the decision? So he's had a look. He's given the penalty. So what's changed now? Enough contact? I mean, it's farcical. It's an absolute farce. Yeah, Mbappe is never going to get there. So what are we talking about here? I mean, I'm the first one to go against Arsenal anytime I get the chance. But what is it about Real Madrid, this ground, this tournament? The referee is having 3, 4, 5 looks. It's just not conclusive enough. So if he's given the penalty, there's not enough evidence to turn it over. What's he going to do here? He's not given the penalty, and common sense has prevailed here. Arsenal breathe a huge sigh of relief, and it's not a penalty because the offside has been given. I cannot believe that's the case. And Declan Rice's yellow card has been rescinded as well. So it's all happening here at the Santiago Bernabeu. A massive chunk of time has just been wasted courtesy of that. And Arsenal fans, talk to me. What are you going through here? The ball goes in forward. They can reset once again. Clip pass onto the right-hand side. Here's Thomas Partey put under immediate pressure. Does brilliantly there, the Ghanaian. And here's Odegaard. Well, I expected this game to have a lot of incidents, but nothing close to this one. I mean, in terms of 2 penalty shouts, one given, not converted by Saka. The second one given, but then rescinded. So, nearly 30 minutes of action here. 0-0 the scoreline. Arsenal still in a very comfortable spot here. 3-0 to the good. Here's Jude Bellingham. Goes good control there. Hits it back. Here's Bellingham again on the left-hand side. Feeds it to Vinicius Jr. Back to Tchouaméni. Bellingham. Real Madrid. Trying to just pass around Arsenal, but Arsenal's D block is so good and very difficult to break down. So they're going to need something clever. They're going to need something around the corner. Those quick 1-2s, those exchanges. These kind of passes just going sideways, not going to help whatsoever. Here's Vasquez. Well, Ancelotti will be telling his boys not to panic here. No panic whatsoever. As Valverde clips the ball in. That's a poor cross. Not for a goal kick. Well, so much has been happening in the Arsenal game. Let me have a look as to what's happening in San Siro. Still 0-0 there. Goodness me, Newcastle are 4-0 up against Crystal Palace. Jacob Murphy, Mark Gahey own goal, Barnes and Fabian Schär. So Newcastle inching their way to Champions League football next season. Marino wins his header. Tchouaméni, that's a good header. He was caught under 2 minds there, finds the right option. Here's Valverde. And now Alaba can stride forward here. Real Madrid need a bit of impetus down the left-hand side. Again, that's been their preferred route throughout this match so far. Here's Mbappe, yet to really trouble the goal. Mbappe! Oh my goodness. Looking to find the top corner there. Struck that well. Looking to just, nobody really closing him down. And he's always shaping away rather than trying to curl that in. Good strike there by Kylian Mbappe, but first time really that he's looked to take a shot on here. If there was ever a time for Kylian Mbappe to step up, this one would be it. We saw that hat-trick he scored against Real Madrid in the playoffs. That's a lovely touch there by Declan Rice. Nice cushion pass there. Again, Martinelli finds Rice, drops the shoulder, finds Odegaard. On the right-hand side is Saka. Saka, Odegaard. It's Odegaard looking to just clip that forward. It's such a poor decision by the Arsenal skipper. Just lacking conviction in their final action here, Arsenal. They're getting into dangerous areas. Odegaard doing absolutely nothing on that occasion. Here's Bellingham now. Mbappe making the run, trying to get away from William Saliba. Easier said than done. Here's Vinicius Jr. Valverde. Tchouaméni on the right-hand side. Rodrigo might look to cross it in here. Good dummy. Here's Rodrigo. Bellingham robbed off the ball. And Arsenal looking to break again. Lovely turn. Beautifully done there by Martin Odegaard. Saka. Oh, can't do that foul there. David Alaba, you're on a yellow card. He's gone through the back of Saka, and that's his final warning. I think Ancelotti has to hook him here. He has to take him off. It's such a rash challenge. Again, you're on a yellow card. You're so experienced. Can't understand what's going through his mind here. Saka, who fought back that big hamstring injury that he had, and he's come back at the perfect moment here for Arsenal. Right in time for the semi-finals here. Potential semi-finals. Mbappe was trying to plead his case. He was never going to get the penalty, man. That was such a poor decision to begin with. 0-0 the scoreline. Plenty of time and incidents. Another crunching challenge there by Rudiger, completely off the ball here. Look, Real Madrid are losing their heads here. They're just throwing in needless challenges. It's a heavy one on Mikel Merino. Ancelotti will be fuming with his players here. They've not shown discipline in terms of challenges. Rudiger will get a talking to and probably his final warning too. So needless. What is he trying to do there? Ball's gone. Just trying to go on through the back of him. Like I said, Real Madrid will try everything in their power. They will do whatever it takes. A sacrifice, rituals, witchcraft, name it. I've seen far too much from them. A lot of people say that this season they haven't been like previous seasons, but something about that, once that Champions League music hits, it does something to the crowd, it does something to the players. Free kick here for Arsenal now. Odegaard not had the best of starts here. Real Madrid fans trying to throw him off as they look for the delivery into the box here. Odegaard delivers. Should be easily dealt with. Oh, they don't, and it's Timber. Over the crossbar, out for a goal kick. Fell nicely for the Dutchman there. Real Madrid looking for a quick get out here. And look, Arsenal have done so well in terms of denying Real Madrid that early goal. All talked about if Real Madrid get one in the first 15, they might be a bit of nerves. Arsenal have just shut them out completely here. It's going to have to take a massive half an hour, plus from Real Madrid to find something back. Arsenal's shape and defensive qualities very much on show here. Here's Odegaard. Saka. Again, David Alaba might have committed the foul, but this time he gets the foul. I don't think it was Alaba on that occasion. Again, it's such a risky ploy, man. There's 10 minutes plus stoppage time remain in this first half, and there will be plenty of that. Figure about 9 or 10 minutes in the first half because of those 2 penalty incidents. You can see there's been hardly any football played, really. 98 passes completed by Real Madrid. Arsenal completing just 57. So there's been barely anything on the deck here. Just looking to unsettle the opposition. Long balls such as that is just a dream for Arsenal, really. Odegaard's ball into the box. You can see a lot of Arsenal players were offside. Raya has picked up a yellow card. Is that for time wasting or was that a foul? Again, so many needless yellow cards being picked up here. Merino, clever pass onto the right-hand side. Here's Bukayo Saka, who will be urging to get his team that one goal that he feels that he owes his team after that brilliant chance from the spot. Still 0-0 at the San Siro as well. As it stands, it's PSG versus Arsenal and Barcelona versus Inter Milan as the 2 semi-finals. Still a lot of football still to go here. David Raya picked up a yellow card for time wasting. Time wasting in the 30th minute. Cannot be doing that. Can't waste any more time there, David Raya now. Incredible scenes. Corner kick here for Arsenal. Saka delivers. Courtois punches. It was not convincing whatsoever, but the foul has been spotted. Thibaut Courtois, very much known for his aerial prowess and claiming crosses, that time flapping. You can see Asensio and Merino both having a grab of each other. That will be a battle throughout the game here, now that the referee is very much capable of giving penalties. So far, Real Madrid have been kept at an arm's length here. This is a very good away performance here from Arsenal. They haven't crumbled. They haven't buckled under the pressure so far. Keeping it short. Here's Asensio. Rudiger. Then the switch is on there on the right-hand side. Arsenal are just affording all the time and space here for Lucas Vazquez because they know that he's the least threatening going forward. Bellingham looks to win the header. Valverde with the header. That's a good win there by Declan Rice. that battle between Rice and Valverde, two brilliant engines and footballers, as Martinelli looks to run down the line. Chouameni with a good challenge. Trying to win the ball fairly there as Arsenal looking to just run down the clock here. In terms of doing the job here, they have done a very good job. Nearly halfway through the first 40, nearly done with the first half. You'll feel that they're 45 minutes away from one of their biggest results. Not just under Arteta for, I would say, the last 15 years. Massive. Absolutely massive. Throw in here for Arsenal. They're just running down the clock. This is a very clever display here. They're not looking to rush or just do exactly the opposite of what Real Madrid are trying to do, because they're trying to be frantic. They're trying to create chaos and panic. Lewis Kelly. It's a throw into absolutely nothing and no one as Valverde hooks that ball. It's a good win there by Rodrigo. Very well done there. Wins the foul and a free kick here. Jude Bellingham has really thrown himself about in this first half here, but not really affecting the game in and around the box so far. Here's Chouameni. Again, what does Ancelotti do in the second half? I mean, still a long way to go, but he's not going to take out his front players, is he? So in terms of Vinicius, Mbappe and Rodrigo are very much going to stay on the field there. It's a needless foul. Again, Martinelli just dangles it's a foolish foul, really. It's nothing. He just dangles a leg out. He knows. I mean, again, it's very little contact, but Vasquez is looking to move with pace. On the right-hand side, Real Madrid have a chance to whip this ball in. The delivery from Vasquez has been less than stellar. He needs this one to be spot on here. Might be Rodrigo instead, as Rodrigo delivers. Good header there, and it's Saliba. It's been flawless so far, the Frenchman. Vinicius delivers, and Saliba again. Nice chop there. Alaba, Vinicius, looking to drop the shoulder. Arsenal doubling up on the Brazilian, and they win the corner. 5 minutes per stoppage time remain in this first half. Jurriën Timber up against Vinicius has given very little away to the Brazilian. He's defended well, but Vinicius can always turn it on a dime here. Rodrigo will deliver. Real Madrid have the likes of Bellingham, Rudiger, Asensio, all in the box. People are taking a tumble. The referee is going to warn them time and time again here. Let's have a look here, and it's Rudiger is just trying to throw Timber to the ground. Caught on 4K there, Rudy. Corner kick here for Real Madrid. Business end of the first half as we're approaching. Rodrigo delivers. Good whip on it. Raya punches. Gets good distance and an angle on it. Valverde looking to gather for the quick throw in here. Arsenal looking to just slow them down, slow down the tempo. Real Madrid looking for a way out here. No one really offering themselves to the ball here. Again, all this very much working in Arsenal's favour. Real Madrid have not got the ball on the ground to play. Trying to just play those channel balls, just looking to go the long balls, but Saliba is such a Rolls Royce of a defender. Kivior has had very little to do. Just marshal them well. Players are just taking a tumble here. Here's Jude Bellingham in the pocket. Trying to drop that shoulder again. Good footwork. On the right-hand side is Vasquez. Lucas Vasquez, the skipper. Again, left-footed ball in. Oh, Rudiger doesn't get there. I think the last touch might have come off the Real Madrid defender. The Arsenal defender, rather. See Vasquez's ball in. And no one really getting a touch. Rudiger, no one near close through. Arsenal, once again, have a corner to defend. Rodrigo's ball in. Oh, no one really defending that on that occasion. Get away with it somehow. Rodrigo again thought about it. Here's Mbappe looking for that quick 1-2. Again, it's a poor pass there by Mbappe. And now Arsenal looking for that quick counter, but immediately halted. Good pass down the left-hand side here. Real Madrid looking for the goal before half-time. That might just change everything. It might change nothing. Here's Mbappe. Vasquez. Arsenal in their deep block here. Got a sea of black in the box. They are not moving away. Bellingham clip pass. Header by Alaba. Vinicius. Vinicius again. Vinicius can't get the cross, takes a deflection, yet another corner. The crowd just raising the decibels here. Martin Odegaard looking for that quick counter-attack, instead got the ball pinched, and now have another corner to deal with here. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain in this first half. The deliveries haven't been spot on. This one, again, it's Saliba. Or is that Mikel Merino at the front post? Yeah, it was Merino. Again, those aerial balls have been so easy for Arsenal to mop up here. Don't know whether Ancelotti is just saying get into the wide areas and get the ball into the box. Hasn't worked so far. Everybody's on that left-hand side. It's another ball into the box as Rudiger was there. Lewis Kelly clears. And Saka and Odegaard might be leading a two-man charge there. And it's Asensio. It's Vasquez, rather, who makes the foul. Through the back of Saka. Saka has suffered some heavy challenges. Yep, clear foul there by the Real Madrid skipper. Good work there by Saka just to shield the ball. Again, there's so much holding, and it's Odegaard, man. He's got a hold of Asensio. Now, if the referee is to apply the same rules, that's a pen like it was in the first one. Odegaard, so foolish. Can't be doing that. Really can't be doing that. You know the referee is just so trigger happy in terms of blowing the whistle for a penalty. They get away with it. But again, Odegaard is just giving the referee a decision to make. Clip pass there by Kivior. Here's Martinelli on the left-hand side. Martinelli pokes it forward. That's very good play there by Tchouaméni. Good strong play, but he's given the ball away. Here's Partey. Odegaard looking to just feed that through Saka. It's a forceful challenge there by Rudiger. He goes right through. Might have done some damage to himself here. Real Madrid looking for the quick counter-attack, but Arsenal quickly back into their shape here. Here's Vinicius looking to drive. Ooh, that's a foul, man. Might be a yellow card there for Urian Timber. He'll now be on a tightrope. Referee's happy for that challenge, but Real Madrid take it quickly. We're into stoppage time here in this first half. Mbappe looking for Jude Bellingham. Well cleared by Arsenal. 7 minutes of added on time here in this first half. Still a lot of football left for Arsenal to finish half their job here at the Santiago Bernabeu. Here's Vinicius now. Vinicius Jr., well blocked. Again, they're just taking pop shots here. Nothing to trouble David Raya. Here's Asensio, giving him enough room here. Rodrigo. Again, it's a ball into the box. It's meat and drink for William Saliba. He's having such a comfortable evening at the Bernabeu here. Just balls in the box here. That's Real Madrid's tactics, especially in the first half. Credit to Arsenal for limiting Madrid. It's another ball into the box. Again, there's just no discipline in Real Madrid's attack as Jude Bellingham attempts the acrobatics. Wasn't going to get a shot away as Saliba clears again. Saliba has been monstrous so far. And here's Odegaard looking for a way forward. Oh, it's such a poor pass. Martin Odegaard's passing in this first half has been shocking, man. It really has been shocking. Again, an opportunity to lead the counter-attack. All he has to do is find Gabriel Martinelli. Both attackers not on the same wavelength here. Here's Vinicius. He just wriggle away from Saka. Takes the tumble. We'll just get a throw in here. Just quickly have a look at what's happening at the San Siro. It's half-time. Inter Milan doing a job on Bayern Munich so far. Vasquez. Oh, it's a good again. It's brilliant from Saliba, man. Saliba has just been spot on. They've given the ball away. Tchouaméni, well blocked by Kivior. Vasquez is on the ground here. Referee will halt play for don't know what, whether or not the ball was cracked at him. He's holding the back of his head there in his neck area. Rudiger is trying to get a swift movement here. You can have a look. Again, it's Merino's just had a challenge. Nowhere near the neck area. Vasquez trying to make the most out of it. Getting the ball into the box. Vasquez got that first time and he just fizzed that in. Nowhere near a Real Madrid attacker here, but Arsenal are doing the job here at the Santiago Bernabeu. They're about 50 minutes plus whatever is added on in the second half away from clinching that semi-final spot. David Raya has been untested at the Santiago Bernabeu, and that's the headline, man. You think that they would have a barrage of shots to face, but nothing so far. Again, good win there by Declan Rice. It's been a battling performance by the England international. Here's Partey, scoop pass. It's very clever. Here's Martinelli. That's a terrible touch. Martinelli and Odegaard have wasted a lot of promising moments for Arsenal here. It's a very cute and deft touch there from Thomas Partey. Martinelli's chest control, nowhere near good enough. Here's Rudiger. Halfway through stoppage time in the first half. And after Bukayo Saka's penalty was saved by Thibaut Courtois, and I just felt that it might just give Real Madrid a way back into the contest, might just open a little door. But after that disallowed penalty on Kylian Mbappe, after that quote-unquote foul by Declan Rice, Real Madrid haven't threatened. One of my friends asked me that, I think it's possible. I said, Arsenal don't concede 3 goals, do they? They just don't concede 3 goals, especially when they are just shutting up shop and are going to play in a mid to deep block. It's going to take something outrageous. It's going to take something almost supernatural. On the right-hand side, Vasquez with the ball in. Raya should be able to claim, and he does. It's a clear tactic. I mean, we played nearly 50 minutes of football, and that's pretty much what Real Madrid have done. Just put balls into the box. It's nearly aimless. I mean, Lucas Vasquez is just trying to just pick his head up, and I don't know how many crosses he's put in, maybe 4 or 5 of them, never really threatening anyone. The first time ball in was, again, it was threatening, again, on paper, but nowhere near a Real Madrid forward. So that tactic has to change, but easier said than done considering how well Arsenal are defending here. Rice gets it here. He's got a bit of space, can open up for the shot, decided against it. It's Gabriel Martinelli. Good save, Courtois. Martinelli trying to hit that and drill it between the legs of Courtois. Rodrigo trying to lead the counter-attack here. It's another heavy touch. The 2 number 11s are not having the best of games here so far, but Martinelli nearly beating Courtois there. Courtois 2 big saves, and Rice could have shaped to shoot. Instead, just feeds it to Martinelli, looking to drill it from an improbable angle up against one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Well, Arsenal, in terms of job half done at the Santiago Bernabeu, about 90 seconds away. A very professional display from Arteta and his men here. Valverde with the header. Partey easily wins it. Declan Rice getting no time to settle on the ball there. Trying to just put his studs on top of the ball. That's not going to happen at the Bernabeu. Yeah, looking for the track back. He's immediately hounded and he concedes the foul. Real Madrid looking for a move on here. Just about a minute left of stoppage time in this first half. Can they get a goal? Can they, let alone just trouble David Raya? It's a foul by Vinicius Jr. on Urian Timber. That battle so far has been very interesting to see there. And it's Dani Ceballos who is warming up on the touchline there. Again, we're talking about subplots and we're talking about all those sorts of mini-series and mini-movies in this grand picture. Dani Ceballos, I think every Arsenal fan would say that his stint at Arsenal was a terrible one, to say the least. They were happy to see the back of him, but he's turning out to be such an important player for Real Madrid in that midfield because he's the only one who can really link play, if you know what I mean, because Tchouaméni is more of a holder. He doesn't have that passing range. Valverde is a runner. He is more effective on those wide areas, not in the pivot. So Ceballos coming on might just change things, but who's the one who's going to be withdrawn here? It might be David Alaba. Arsenal might just drop the nastiest of deep blocks in the second 45, and the whistle has been sounded here at the Santiago Bernabeu in the first half, and it's job half done here for Arsenal. They've kept Real Madrid completely at bay in the first half. Halftime here at the Santiago Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid 0, Arsenal 0. Well, no goals today. 0-0 the scoreline at San Siro, and 0-0 at the Santiago Bernabeu. 2 iconic grounds not producing goals. And as it stands, it's PSG versus Arsenal and Barcelona versus Inter Milan. It has all the makings of a classic semi-finals here. For Arsenal, they've done brilliantly here. Courtois, the hero in the first leg for Real Madrid, despite conceding 3, and saved that penalty of Saka, which could have completely changed the game and killed the tie off. 0-0 near the scoreline. Where does this game go next here? Let's have a look what's happening in the Premier League. Newcastle were 4-0 up at halftime against Crystal Palace. They're 5-0 up now. Isak scoring. Just having a look at the table here. Liverpool 2 wins away from the title. Arsenal not thinking about the title. Newcastle in 3rd. Nottingham Forest in 4th. Manchester City in 5th. And Chelsea in 6th, level on points with Aston Villa. I said early on that Chelsea could very easily finish between 3rd and 9th. Now that has changed to 3rd and 7th. And that inconsistency for Chelsea has really hurt us, man. And knowing that top 5 might be enough for Champions League or will be enough for Champions League next season, it would be a terrible season after spending most of it in the Champions League, now finding ourselves in 6th. So it's going to be a very nervy 6 games for Chelsea, man. It's never comfortable at the Bridge, is it? That 2-2 draw at Ipswich was unforgivable. I mean, it's a game that I didn't watch. I was outside and I was thinking for sure, yes, we lost away to Ipswich and that was an awful game. I thought surely at the Bridge where our record was starting to improve, we're starting to keep clean sheets, and then we're 2-0 down at the Bridge and then we're trying to come back. We somehow salvage a point, but that's nowhere near enough. I mean, once City get ahead of you, it feels that you're not going to get ahead of them. But now we have Newcastle and Nottingham Forest, and Forest after dropping points as well in consecutive weeks. It just shows you how poor Chelsea have been towards the end, man. 0-0 the scoreline. I need a break. I always like to look at a bit of Twitter. Sometimes I double screen during games that aren't Chelsea, of course. Just have a look. There's a lot of drivel on Twitter, that's for sure, but it does make it very, very interesting to see whether or not there's some tidbits that I might have missed. For Real Madrid, I think it's been a very poor half of football. I mean, nowhere near threatening. Arsenal just happy to sit back, just in the box. Have that line. Saliba has been imperious. I mean, I would love to have a look at Saliba's stats. Just have a look. He made so many clearances. I mean, Martinelli came the closest in terms of a chance, right before halftime, 2 minutes before halftime, that is. Just have a look at Saliba's stats. But other than that penalty save, he's made 4 accurate passes, 1 long ball, 10 clearances, 8 headed clearances, 2 interceptions, and he's won 100% of his duels. So he's not committed a foul. He has been spotless, absolutely spotless by the 24-year-old French centre-half. Having a display like this at the Santiago Bernabeu is very risky for only one reason. The world's watching. Florentino Perez is watching. And if he wants to pull the trigger on a centre-half, he doesn't have to look any further. The right man is right there. Yeah, man, in terms of a game, in terms of a spectacle, it's flattered to deceive. You almost felt like Real Madrid might just try something different. They tried something different in terms of changing their midfield pivot, but not really in terms of threatening. Ancelotti has to throw everything in the 45 minutes here. I saw Dani Ceballos warming up, but that's not enough. That's nearly not enough. I have a feeling that David Alaba might have to go and make way for one of the midfielders to come. But is this the time to maybe chuck in the likes of Arda Güler or Endrick? Let's have a look at the bench. It's not too much there in terms of real quality. I mean, they've got Luka Modric, Brahim Diaz, Endrick, and Arda Güler, and Ceballos in terms of midfield and forward options. Is that enough to really trouble the Arsenal backline? I'm not sure. As for Arsenal, they have Ben White, Kieran Tierney, Zinchenko, and a lot of kids, man. My goodness, they have so many kids that I've not even heard of, all sitting on the Santiago Bernabeu bench. Could be worse ways of spending your Wednesday evening. Brilliant. Trossard, Wanyeri as the forward options. Don't think Sterling will be anywhere near featured. In terms of defending, if he wants to bring on another defender, he can bring on the likes of Ben White, Kieran Tierney, or Zinchenko as a midfield option. So halftime, the scoreline. Let's have a look what happened between Inter and Bayern Munich. I never like looking at stats and just trying to tell the whole story, but gives me some idea maybe. Kashishpal. Well, for Real Madrid, where do they go from here? Have to find a way back here. Need to see some of Carlo Ancelotti's tweaks or in-game management. I saw nothing in that first leg, and I was so disappointed with him. After seeing what transpired for that 45 minutes, or the 90 minutes rather, he made no changes, man. The only changes he made was his fullbacks. That's nowhere near enough. I mean, nothing else he changed. He kept the midfield as it is. It was a very passive coaching performance by Carlo Ancelotti in that first leg. So, see the first 45 as well. As we look at some of the chances that Inter Milan had, one thing looks like Bayern have not threatened the goal, did they? And I want to see this. Let's have a look. Inter Milan are not an easy team, man. They're going to be so difficult for Barcelona. Barca would have much rather played Bayern Munich here. Inter Milan with their 3-5-2, Martinez, Thuram up front, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, and Mkhitaryan in that midfield area. No Dumfries tonight, but they've got DeMarco, Dumfries, and that back three is so solid, man, with the likes of Bastoni, Acerbi, and Benjamin Pavard. Fair play to Inter Milan, man. They've played a Champions League final 2 years back. They might get there again. We'll have a look as Bayern have had shots. 9 shots, 3 on target. No quote-unquote big chances. They've had most of the ball, but this is where Inter Milan thrive, man. They are so happy going into that deep block. Just give the ball to Bayern Munich and say, break us down. But the only problem for Inter Milan is that tactic may not really work because it's just a goal. A goal, and things can really change. And then we're into extra time in that game. Would love to see extra time. We saw really yesterday's game almost were foregone conclusions. PSG made it a really heavy task towards the end, nearly threw that game away. They were 2-0 up at Villa Park, cruising. I switched off the game after 2-0, man. I thought this is over. I mean, they're not going to come back from this. They were 5-1 up in aggregate, and then Aston Villa scored 3 without reply. I mean, that was one of the craziest games, but PSG doing just about enough in terms of securing their semi-final spot. I don't know if it's just me, but the Sony Live coverage for the halftime and all is really Bush League, man. It's almost trying to get that. I mean, I don't even want to say anything. The old saying goes, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything. It's terrible. Just listening to it pre-match, I mean, no analysis. It's no real, it's just a lot of buzzwords, tweets, and it's a problem with coverage, man, these days. That's why we're on YouTube, trying to get some of it my own. Talk about tactics, that's why you get experts, man. That's why you get people to talk about the game. What can you do differently? What can you move pieces around? This is like goal chahiye, goal maro. Like, come on, man. Crazy. Inter Milan game is already kicked off here. 3 minutes have already passed here. So we will know what happens in that fixture before what happens at the Bernabeu. But Arsenal are 45 minutes per stoppage time from their first Champions League semi-final since 2009. A long 15 years for them. Mikel Arteta, having gone through so much adversity in his early part of the Arsenal career, wouldn't have ever dreamt of this moment right here. They got the worst side of the draw in terms of they have to go through Real Madrid, they have to go through PSG, I mean, just to reach the final. So they would absolutely deserve it if they do make the finals. I'll be secretly rooting against them. On these streams, I'm as neutral as it possible. As soon as the game kicks off, I call what I see. Bayern Munich, no halftime subs by Company. Again, I mean, no real panic for them. They know that just a goal might separate the two teams. But you'd like to see the likes of maybe Gnabry or Coman being introduced early on, because they're just playing a front three of Müller, Olise, and Leroy Sané behind Harry Kane. Harry Kane, if there was ever a time to score a big goal, this is the one. We've had 20 touches, 5 in the opposition box. You're one shot. One shot, not enough. Yeah, as it stands, Arsenal and Inter Milan trying to join PSG and Barcelona. So Barcelona also went through a real scare against Dortmund, didn't they? I mean, again, that once they scored that own goal that went against Dortmund, it just felt like the tie was over. But Guirassy scoring a hat-trick in the Champions League quarterfinals, very good from the Equatorial Guinea striker. Real Madrid are quickly out of their change rooms. Ancelotti has taken his spot on the bench. There's a lot of talk that this could be his final season at Real Madrid in his second stint here. So he delivered the league and Champions League last season, but we know how demanding Florentino Perez and Real Madrid are. A season of disappointment might just lead to a change in management. They're 4 points behind Barcelona and La Liga, and they're 45 minutes away from being knocked out in the Champions League against Arsenal. No one gave Arsenal a prayer when the ties were released. So Arsenal have dominated and kept Real Madrid for 3 halves of football. That is an incredible task, really. It really is. With the firepower that Real Madrid have going forward, they've done very well. But Madrid have been underwhelming. They need to throw the kitchen sink. Forget the kitchen sink. They have to throw the house at Arsenal here. The Santiago Bernabeu, known to boo their players when things don't go their way, but the support has to be cranked up. The noise has to be loud here. It's 45 minutes for Arsenal to reach their first semi-final in 15 years, or it's 45 minutes that might see the most incredible of comebacks. We've seen Real Madrid do it time and time again in the Champions League, but they have a different proposition and a different Arsenal side as we're all set for the start of the second half here. Which way is this going to go? I'm not in the predictions business, but having watched Arsenal keep Real Madrid away from this time, I can't see how they score 3 goals, man. I really can't. I want them to, but really can't see them score 3. It would make the most incredibles of streams that I've ever had. But Arsenal defensively very powerful, and they'll just look to try and run down the clock here. This is where they have to be clever. Now, David Raya has picked up a yellow card already for time wasting, so he has to be very careful. You've seen the likes of David Alaba pick up a yellow card, but again, you can look at Ancelotti, man. He's not made any halftime subs, or am I tripping? Because that can't be right. It really can't be right. And you can't look at that first half. Yes, they've got those galaxy of stars, but you have to make a change. At least withdraw a defender. Do something. So poor from Ancelotti, man. Very disappointing. It's just one way to play. Ball into the box. Chouameni with the header. Again, it's another cross into the box. Again, nothing's changed. It's the same tactic. Look, if they're going to do this, they might as well just wave the white flag here. It's just going to be balls in the box. Just trying to act busy and, pop it around quickly, but it seems to be the same tactic, and Arsenal have just locked it down here. The two centre-halves are just following Bellingham. Mbappe is peeled onto the left-hand side. Whether or not that's the switch that we might see, that Bellingham might just play as a false 9, and Mbappe on the left, have to play on here, which is Mbappe. Mbappe and Vinicius both on the same flank here. Mbappe has to go centrally, and he does. Decent ball. On the right-hand side is Rodrigo. Again, going for the shot. They get a corner. 2 minutes into the second half. Real Madrid looking for that quick start. Saliba getting caught under the ball on that occasion. Mbappe doing very well. That battle with Saliba. Saliba has won that fair and square so far. Real Madrid looking for a way back here. David Alaba, I'm very surprised that he came out in the second half, knowing that he picked up that yellow card early on. Madrid need a goal, and somehow. Again, Rudiger battling in the box. We've seen 2 penalties given, 1 saved, 1 cancelled. So it's a disappointing corner, easily dealt with. Again, Arsenal just affording Lucas Vazquez enough time and space on the ball. Ooh, Bayern Munich have scored. It's Harry Kane. It's Harry Kane who has scored, assisted by Leon Goretzka, and that game is well and truly on now. As it stands, we're into extra time. There's still a lot of football to go at San Siro. Inter held back for most of the first half, and that game now has bursted into life. I might just switch into the last half an hour here. Here's Mbappe. It's Mbappe again. Trying to quick twitch and move forward. Last touch comes off the Frenchman and out for a goal kick. Mbappe trying to try and wriggle away from the challenge. You can see Mikel Merino. He is a midfielder by trade, but he's playing centre forward today. He is very much playing like another midfielder here. Just got 3 players in terms of attacking. They've got Saka, Odegaard, and Martinelli trying to do the attacking. Mikel Merino is trying to just be that body in front, but he is working tirelessly hard, getting back into those spaces and making those challenges. Carlo Ancelotti, a lot of hand movements and a lot of waving. Mr. Carlo, need to see some tactics. Very, very passive from Real Madrid so far. Arsenal biting into the challenges. Alaba finding Rudiger. Here's Thibaut Courtois. And Arsenal have navigated the first 5 minutes perfectly here. Kept the ball as far as possible away from David Raya. Here's Rudiger. You look at the balance of play here. Arsenal have come to Santiago Bernabeu. They had a penalty saved, and Martinelli has had the only quote-unquote chance in the match, which he made Courtois save. It's a foul given. Thomas Partey being bundled over. Real Madrid might just lose their heads here. Bellingham not happy with what he's seen there. The ball was played in. It was easily intercepted by Thomas Partey. Of course, has been under the shores, trained under the tutelage of Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid, now very much an Arsenal player for the last 5 years. He's been at this ground. He knows what this is all about. First visit for most of these players, I think, apart from maybe Mikel Merino, who's played for Sociedad. Other than that, everyone trying to make their presence counted. As a header there after a good delivery by Declan Rice. Not having too much on it, but it's Mikel Merino's header. In 5 minutes, navigated with ease here for Arsenal. No change from Real Madrid and no surprises. What would change? If he's made no changes, nothing will change. It's that simple. It's a clever pass there by Saka. Partey. Merino trying to for the back heel there. Good win there. You can see Madrid having nearly 70% of the ball, but they've done very little with it. It's a crunching challenge there by Jude Bellingham, getting involved with Declan Rice, the two England internationals, deciding that it's good to just step away from that one. Again, Jude going flying into the challenge. I'm going to keep one eye on the Bayern Munich game, Bayern Inter Milan game. That is going to be some finish. Massive 30 minutes announced. Oh, Inter Milan have equalized. Oh my goodness. It's taken them 6 minutes to equalize on the night and go back ahead on aggregate. They're trying to check whether or not the goal has stood. Oh, it is Lautaro Martinez and the goal has been given. It took all of 6 minutes for Inter Milan to hit back. And as it stands, Inter Milan are on the way to the semi-finals to face Barcelona. Incredible. It just felt like the game might have something to do and just Inter just closed the door down brilliantly. Here's Odegaard now. The two centre forwards in that match coming up trumps. Kane in the 52nd minute. Lautaro Martinez in the 58th minute. His goal in the first leg was an absolute beauty, man. Just the way that it was constructed and finished with this outside of his boot. Just over 52 minutes on the clock. Here's Rudiger. Again, no urgency on the ball here. Arsenal back into their defensive shape. Haven't really troubled. Kivior looks comfortable at the Bernabeu. If I had said that statement early on in the stadium season, you wouldn't believe it. It's Jude Bellingham. Oh, it's Declan Rice with the challenge. It's a brilliant tackle by Rice. Bellingham breaking his neck to make that run into the box. Declan Rice following him and then making a clean challenge there. He concedes the corner. It's outstanding from Rice. Had to get that spot on and he did. Corner kick here for Real Madrid. 53 minutes on the clock here. Ball into the box. Mbappe's header. It's over. Doesn't get the clean connection. He got a good chunk on it. Never really going to trouble Raya from there. Again, I'm waiting to see Ancelotti flinch here. Yes, he's cool. He's collected. But something's got to give, surely. Again, no one really warming up on the sidelines. Don't think that Modric or Ceballos might be trusted anytime soon here. Saka, nice chest down here up against Alaba. He's done brilliantly there. Saka, good strength shown. Here's Rice. Again, driving run forward. Martinelli, maybe first touch, gets away from Vasquez. Here's Lewis Kelly. Arsenal with the first real sustained period of possession in Real Madrid half for a long time, really. Here's Martinelli now. Taking his time here. Not really looking to beat his man. Again, Vasquez not jumping into the challenge. Martinelli, Rice. Lewis Kelly. Goes all the way back to Jakub Kiwior. Polish international. Oh, that's a risky pass. And Raya, thankfully, for Arsenal's point of view, had made that run into that right centre-half space. Here's Timber. Does very well. Odegaard with a heavy touch, but brings the ball under control. It's got Saka for company. Thomas Partey. Lewis Kelly. Again, it's Martinelli again. This time, will he look to give Vasquez the runaround? Here's Martinelli. Takes the touch. Heavy touch. It's a poor touch, really. It's bundled over. And Madrid are on the counter-attack. It's Vinicius. Vinicius Jr. Oh, what a challenge. That is Kiwior. Here's Bellingham. Vinicius again. Vinicius Jr. It's a team effort. It's the first time really that David Raya has been tested. Easy one there. And Jakub Kivior not dealing with that situation. It was a 2v3 for Real Madrid on that occasion, but it was a good challenge to stop the attack. Here's Thomas Partey. And Arsenal just ticking the time down here. Have the ball exactly where they want it. Here's Bukayo Saka. Scott Odegaard on the overlap. Saka so good with that start-stop, and he just drops that shoulder so quickly. He's so capable of going both ways there, as Bellingham just throws Urian Timber to the ground right in front of the linesman. Again, the referee is asking, use common sense. I don't want to book you. Bellingham very fortunate to avoid it. Again, it's so needless. The ball's gone. Timber is just standing in front of him. Here's Vinicius' effort there. He's just trying to pass that into the corner. And Arsenal's defending, solid. On the right-hand side, here's Vasquez, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Valverde, Tchouaméni. Everyone getting a touch here. Here's Vinicius Jr. Vinicius, again, it's a block by Timber. How many times has that happened? Timber has curled so many attacks from time to time. Oh, Bayern Munich have scored the second. It's Benjamin Pavard against his former club. Has all but killed that tie away as the corner comes in. Dyer punches. It's another corner. 4-2 on aggregate for Inter Milan, and they've been woken up since Harry Kane scored. They've scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. Lautaro Martinez and Benjamin Pavard. Here's the ball into the box. There's another corner. Another easy clearance there. Here's Vasquez. Looks for the curler. Easily blocked. Again, shots from distance. Crosses into the box. This is not going to work in Real Madrid's favor here. Arsenal, again, are doing some job here on Real Madrid. They are a very good team. I think they're very suited as a cup team. The way that they are defensively reminds me of Tuchel and Chelsea back in 2021, where we didn't have enough firepower going forward. We had Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and Mason Mount as our forward players with Ziyech, Pulisic. We weren't scoring goals, but what we had defensively was sensational. That's a brilliant ball. Saka might get there first. Asensio does so well to get along, and he's trying to rile up the crowd here. Well, Inter Milan have been woken up and looking to have just put Bayern Munich to the sword here. Bayern Munich have made a double substitution. Gnabry and Guerrero coming on for Kim Min-jae and Leroy Sané. And Real Madrid preparing a triple substitution. It is Endrick, Brahim Diaz, and Dani Ceballos looking to come on here, but they have to defend this corner first here. Arsenal and set pieces. You all know about that from the Premier League. Will they make them pay? It's a dangerous ball, but easily pouched by Courtois, looking for the quick counter-attack here. I'll be very interested to see who Ancelotti withdraws to bring on the players here. That's a brilliant run, this from Valverde. Excellent from Rice. Tracking the run, making the interception, and gets the ball forward to Odegaard. Declan Rice, once again, making his case for yet another Man of the Match award here. Yes, Lewis Kelly. Odegaard. Lewis Kelly again. Going to burst forward. Brilliant from the youngster. Oh, Rudiger, surely a foul. Oh, he's not given the foul. That is a terrible call. I mean, how is that not a foul? Lewis Kelly is writhing down in pain here. As soon as Rudiger went there, I knew it's going to be a foul. I just knew it. But he doesn't give the foul, so Lewis Kelly is holding his abdomen there. He's okay now. Suddenly doesn't feel that pain anymore. Let's have a look here. Oh, it's a stamp by Rudiger, but again, it's terrible. It really is bad, but it's not intentional because he's just bundling over, but it's a nasty one, really. You can see why Lewis Kelly was writhing around in pain. Studs to the gut. Oof. I don't want to be one of those, but Arsenal are half an hour away from booking their semi-final spot as Alaba, Rodrigo, and Lucas Vasquez all being withdrawn here for Endrick, Brahim Diaz, and Dani Ceballos. Ancelotti finally going for it. It's not Brahim Diaz, it's Fran Garcia on the left-hand side as left back. But it's basically in terms of forward areas, they got Ceballos and Endrick. Big moment for Endrick. Who's got the captain's armband here? Lucas Vasquez has been withdrawn for Real Madrid. Might go to Fede Valverde. Here's Garcia. Again, those were the only two subs that Carlo Ancelotti made in that first leg. The two fullbacks. He has no problem switching fullbacks because they aren't the big names, really. They aren't the difference makers. It's those forward areas. He knows that he needs to take off somebody. He's not going to take off Vinny. He's not going to take off Mbappe. He's going to have to make those tweaks. And that midfield pairing, whether or not he can introduce Luka Modric at some time, because Kamavinga, he picked up that needless second yellow card, kicking the ball away in frustration. So there's nobody else to blame but himself. And that was probably in the 95th minute too. So just compounded their misery. He really is a game changer. But in that first half, Madrid not really threatening. Here's Asensio. Pushed forward. Can they win the ball back here? Scoop forward. Here's Martinelli. Waiting for options down the left-hand side. Here's Lewis Skelly now. Good from Martinelli. Hasn't had his most influential game going forward. Had that shot just before half-time. Straight at Thibaut Courtois though. Rice fizzes it, and that's a terrible bit of control there by Jurrien Timber, and he concedes the foul. It's right on the halfway line. Not a bad place to give the foul, but needs to get his control a lot more spot on there. Tchouaméni. Valverde. Valverde might be playing as right back now. Endrick will be playing as the right winger. Here's Jude Bellingham. Again, Arsenal back in their block. They're excellent, aren't they? They've just shut things down as Fran Garcia looking for all options. Here's Ceballos. Of course, he was on loan as... Oh, that's such a bad ball there from Jude Bellingham. It's just balls into the box. The tactic has not changed from Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti. It's very schoolboy stuff, and it's easy work for Arsenal, really. They're dealing with it with so much ease. Just looking to put the ball into the box, into the channels. They're going to gobble it up every single time. And Arsenal not really showing much forward intent, but they don't have to here. They're nearly home and dry. Again, 15 minutes into the second half, David Raya has had to make one save, and it was a comfortable one of Vinicius Jr. That says everything you need to know. Tchouaméni with the ball into the box. Again, Saliba matches Mbappe stride for stride, shoulder to shoulder. What a centre-half performance this has been. As I say that, that is the commentator's curse, and he gives that away to Vinicius. Endrick looking to shoot from about 25 yards, falls to Valverde. It's another ball in. Endrick trying to direct his header. Never really going to trouble Raya from there. But yeah, that's the only downfall for Arsenal. It's William Saliba in front of the Real Madrid president having a performance like this. Endrick, what a moment this is for him in his young career. That's a good header there from Merino. He's been an outstanding target man, really. Just knocks it down to Bukayo Saka. Saka up against Rudiger. Here's Odegaard. Rice. Back to Odegaard. Thought about the shot. Merino. Oh, touch it beautifully. Saka! And it's game over. Tie over. And it is Arsenal into the semi-finals. Bukayo Saka makes amends. And after his missed penalty in the first half, that is a distant memory now. Arsenal were patient in the final third. And Bukayo Saka with the delicious of chips past Thibaut Courtois. And Arsenal into the semi-finals surely now. 25 minutes per stoppage time remain. And they have the goal at the Bernabeu. Brilliant. And it all starts from Mikel Merino, winning that header. He did so well to knock down the header to Saka, and then Arsenal were in business. Against Rudiger as well. That is an excellent header. Saka, oh, is he offside? I think he might be on. Once he's here, look, they just slow the pace down here, looking to just get everybody involved in the build-up. Plays it to Odegaard, and now Arsenal looking for combinations. Saka looking to buzz around, just have those movements. Rice to Odegaard. This is so clever from Merino, man. And Saka well and truly onside, and the finish is exquisite. It really is brilliant. Absolute composure. He tried to do that with his penalty. He didn't succeed. He tries again. Just scoops that over Courtois. Pulls out that cold celebration that he has. And Arsenal are into the semi-finals now, surely. Well, Real Madrid have been well and truly trounced in the Champions League. Not many teams can say that they've done that to Real Madrid. Oh, they've given it away. Oh my goodness, Saliba, what have you done? He just gives it to Vinicius Jr. Well, Saliba had near perfect first half. He just gave the ball away early on in the second half, and he just absolutely loses concentration here. Look, he's taken his eye off the ball. Vinicius chases him down. Raya is nowhere in position. What have you done there, William Saliba? Is that the goal that might spark Real Madrid? I mean, Madrid are the only team who can score goals like this, man. They just find a way. They just make teams panic. And William Saliba, after I've given you all that praise in the first half, you've made a mistake like that. Again, we're back where we were. Madrid still need 3. Are they going to get that again? It's a heavy touch. Arsenal shouldn't have any nerves here, knowing that they have that 3-goal cushion. Inter Milan are 15 minutes away from booking their spot in the Champions League semi-final, where Barcelona will be waiting for them. That is going to be a brilliant tactical encounter, man. Inzaghi versus Hansi Flick. And in the other semi-final, as it stands, Luis Enrique versus Mikel Arteta. What are they asking for here? And Odegaard's having a word with the referee here. He's had a very busy game, hasn't he? He's tried to keep things moving, tried to keep his card in the pocket. Gave that penalty away, which Saka missed. Gave a penalty to Mbappe, which is never really a penalty and rightfully overturned. And Newcastle have completed their 5-0 battering of Crystal Palace in the Premier League. Third in the table. They're 4 points behind Arsenal, by the way. Arsenal in second place. Arsenal clearly with bigger fish to fry. The ball into the box, easily dealt with. On the left-hand side. Here's Lewis Kelly. Again showing his confidence, driving with the ball. Again giving it away. Oh, the foul has been given though. Thomas Partey getting away with that one. Arsenal just getting a touch sloppy here. Under-hit passes, taking their eye off the prize. That's a clear foul there by Vinicius on Thomas Partey. But again, as soon as they leave the ball short, you know the Madrid forwards will be just chomping at the bit, waiting for any sort of scraps to feed off. Here's Declan Rice. Well, Mikel Merino, as a centre forward for Arsenal, has a goal and an assist against Real Madrid. Very impressive. Foul given there as Valverde tries to chop down Martinelli, and it's exactly what he's done. A free kick for Arsenal. Goal now, surely for Arsenal, kills it off once and for all. 20 minutes plus stoppage time. Arsenal 20 minutes away plus stoppage time from their first semi-final in 15 years in the Champions League. Declan Rice to deliver. Lets it go as Odegaard with his left foot doesn't beat the first man. Terrible quality on the pass. Good block there. And Saka making his presence known. What a welcome sight he is for Arsenal, Arteta and their fans. They would have feared the worst for him once he was having surgery. Ooh, Eric Dyer has equalized on the night at the San Siro here. That game just has a goal between them. I'm very, very tempted to switch to that stream. Might do that in the last 5 as Arsenal cruise here. It's Declan Rice looking to get his shot away and Tchouaméni with a critical block. Rice had the freedom there. He just waltzed into the box. No challenge on him. Tchouaméni having to make that last-ditch block. It's Ceballos who gets dispossessed. It's not a foul. Real Madrid players have just been going to ground with ease. That's a brilliant challenge there from Tchouaméni. Well, Harry Kane and Eric Dyer both have scored in the Champions League quarterfinals. 2 players, of course, from Spurs. And speaking of Spurs, Luka Modric set to come on here. Does he have one more season left in him? We wait and see. I heard the news and I didn't really confirm it. Just saw it in the Twitter space where he's bought minority shares in Swansea. Very interesting move there. Always already thinking about post-football. Known about his time in England as Tchouaméni looks for a way forward. Here's Ceballos. And Mbappe has had a very quiet second half. Not really threatening with shots. Clever 1-2 here. Mbappe, Rice, brilliant. He's just that constant presence in the middle, isn't he? And he wins the foul. Declan Rice is making that case, man. He just knows where to be. There's a lot of criticism to him in terms of his usage with the ball. But I think that's overstated, man. He does just exactly what you want. He's a driving presence. He eats up ground. He makes interceptions and challenges. He's excellent in the air. His ball striking is excellent. So he's got so many facets where he really excels at. And it's just sometimes you feel that he's not suited to that number 6 role, which he was originally purchased for, that 100 million that Arteta and Arsenal dropped on him. He started last season as that number 6, but this season he's well and truly played as a number 8. Make no mistake about it. On that left-hand side, Arteta deciding and identifying that there's so much more that Declan Rice can offer the team. Get Thomas Partey as that number 6, who's capable of turning and receiving with his back to goal and dictating from deep. And get Declan Rice to run. Rice and Mbappe in that challenge. Don't see where that foul was given. I think Mbappe's landing is awkward. Let's have a look here. Does he land? Oh, he might have just twisted the top of his foot there. It's a painful one. Well, the script was written, isn't it? When the brackets were all shown, it had all the makings of Real Madrid facing Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals. But Arsenal have come in and they have completely just turned that around. They said, absolutely not. Not on our watch. Well, William Saliba, who had a near-perfect game, giving Madrid a route back into this contest. Well, I say a route back, but is it a route back, though? Well, is Mbappe going to be withdrawn here in the final 15 minutes? Luka Modric is looking to come on, and yeah, Mbappe is off. It's over. They've pretty much thrown in the towel here. Maybe because of the injury, they can't really afford to carry anybody here. But Brahim Diaz and Luka Modric coming on for Raul Asensio and Kylian Mbappe. Arsenal 15 minutes plus stoppage time away from booking their berth in the semi-finals where PSG await. 82 minutes on the clock at San Siro, 2-2. The scoreline there. Saka helping out defensively is just exactly what Arteta wants to see there. It's brilliant from him. He scores the goal and he's helping out defensively. 8 minutes plus added on time. Can Bayern Munich pull a goal back? That will take that tie into extra time, and this one all but wrapped up here. Three more minutes and then I switch to the Inter Bayern Munich one, because this one seems all but wrapped up here. Arsenal looking to make a change. They've been excellent. They really have been. And Saka's evening comes to an end. And why not? He scored the goal. And it's Leandro Trossard will get 13 plus stoppage time. Rudiger with a good header. Saliba responds. Might be a foul there on Martinelli. Referee happy to wave that go. Martinelli feels that these kind of fouls would be given in the Premier League, but in the Champions League, the whistles are different. It really are. Ancelotti has been tactically outclassed by Mikel Arteta. He really has been. Non-threatening in the first leg. At home, Arsenal just shut things down. Onto the box, headed away by Rudiger. Clip pass forward as Vinicius looks to just pump that. Again, those long balls not going to trouble anyone really. Endrick and Vinicius are almost playing like a front two here. Arsenal easily come away with the ball here. Partey, clever pass. Very nicely done to Odegaard. Should give it back to Partey here. Sides against it. Here's Timber, who kept Vinicius under wraps. For the quick movement here. Just kept that ball away and out for a throw-in. Arsenal nearly there. Nearly there. Bayern making a double substitution. It's Alexander Pavlovic and Kingsley Coman coming on for Leon Goretzka and Konrad Laimer. Vincent Kompany trying to throw everything that he has got at the Inter Milan team. Inter, who was woken up by that Harry Kane goal, responded with two swift goals. First from Lautaro Martinez and then Odegaard is really well there. Thomas Partey, good block. It's Luka Modric who makes the block. First time really that Real Madrid will just be active. Again, no way forward. It's good work there from Jurrien Timber and Rudiger on the cover as well. Good switch out there as Valverde looking to venture forward. The reaction after this game is going to be very, very interesting to see. And full focus for Ancelotti and Real Madrid will be the league right now. They're 4 points behind Barcelona. Vinicius Jr. has got the foul and a free kick at the edge of the box here. It's a bit of a delayed move there. He beats Timber. You can see that he just goes sliding in. And he just leaves a foot out, and as soon as you just leave the foot out, Vinicius is going to try and drag his foot on it and win the free kick, because it's desperate times here for Real Madrid. There are 3 goals and about 11 plus stoppage time away. Improbable, not impossible. Arsenal defensively excellent. David Raya not having to make a save, but had to pick up ball from the back of the net, courtesy of the mistake from Saliba. It's Valverde looks to drill that. It's Declan Rice who charges out. Yep, I'm calling it. Declan Rice, man of the match. Might give it to Bukayo Saka for the goal, but no, man. Defensively, I think the work that he's put in, 2 free kicks, I mean, he's been the player of the tie. For all the attacking players that they've been there, here's Endrick looking to get a shot away there. Good defensive work there from Jakub Kiwior. Kiwior very rarely tested in this tie as Vinicius with the ball into the box. Again, his balls into the box, aerial deliveries. Real Madrid don't have height, physicality, or any sort of presence. So Balls just kept coming in. Brilliant from Lewis Kelly, driving with the ball. Beats the press. Excellent. Just brilliant, man, Lewis Kelly. Just lets that go nicely. You can see the distance covered by the Arsenal players. 95 kilometers compared to the 7. 7 more kilometers more than Real Madrid. Here's Odegaard. It's Odegaard! He's trying to just bend that into the far corner. Thibaut Courtois was diving, but wasn't going to get there. Well, the Real Madrid fans know that it's all but over now. They're 10 minutes away from a shock exit in the Champions League at the hands of Arsenal. Shock. Is it a shock, though? In terms of predictions, we definitely thought that Real Madrid would have gone through. And it's a double substitution by Simone Inzaghi and Inter Milan here. Davide Fratesi, who scored that second goal at the Allianz Arena, coming on. And so is Jan Orel Bisek for Alessandro Bastoni. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the San Siro. And Arsenal, 7.5 plus stoppage time away from booking their spot in the semi, as easily dealt with again. I'm making a quick change, James. Let me see what the Inter Milan Bayern Munich game has to offer us here. Still have an eye at the Madrid Arsenal game. Vinicius and Saka scored 2 minutes apart. Who's going to be the hero for Bayern Munich here? 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Really is now or never for Bayern Munich. Lautaro Martinez scored away and then home. Brilliant from the Argentine skipper for Inter Milan. What's going to happen here? He's going to try and run down the clock. Acerbi, Bisek and Benjamin Pavard. Inching forward here. Inter Milan nearly doing the job here on Bayern Munich. Celebrations will be incredible. What a job Inzaghi has done. What a manager he is, man. Limited resources to say the very least. And he is not just winning league titles, but he's making heavy pushes in the Champions League. And the last time that they did well in Europe was when Jose was there. That was 15 years ago. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Here's Gnabry. Elise. Back to Gnabry. Time running out here for Bayern Munich. Really is now or never. They're playing very conservative passes here. Pavlovic. Stanisic. Good turn there. Very swiftly done there from Kingsley Coman. Rafael Guerrero with the ball into the box. Trying to find Thomas Muller. Well defended. Hacked clear by Henrik Mkhitaryan. Well, it's desperate times really for Bayern Munich. We're heading into stoppage time. Here's Coman. Gnabry. Gnabry. Thought about the shot. Gnabry is taking the long route across. And Serge Gnabry cuts it across. There is Harry Kane. He has not made that run. Inter managed to clear. That is a brilliant run by Serge Gnabry. Here's Michael Olise. Deft footwork there from the Frenchman as Coman trying to feed that in. Oh, Jan Sommer does just enough. Harry Kane, he's ballooned it over. That's the chance. And it fell to the right man. And it's Harry Kane who's ballooned it over. Terrible miss from the England centre-forward. Real mess at the back. Once he's got there, it's an awkward angle, but he has to score. He really has to score there. They got that chance into stoppage time. They haven't capitalized. Inter Milan, about 5 minutes away from reaching yet another semi-final under Simone Inzaghi here. Harry Kane, you have to score that one. How many big moments, how many big matches is he going to not affect? Is he not going to drag his team over the line? Might have thought that he would have done that with that goal early into the second half. But Inter Milan quickly turned that around. First through Lautaro Martinez and then Benjamin Pavard. Benjamin Pavard, of course, scoring against his former club, and it's a good push and run here from Stanisic. Cleared away. Bayern looking to throw everything that they've got here. Arsenal, 4 minutes away from clinching their spot in the semis. Here's Elise. It's Michael Olise, Serge Gnabry. Gnabry looking to clip that ball away. Bisek makes the interception. It's a corner. Jan Sommer, previously off the Bundesliga, of course. Mönchengladbach had a stint at Bayern too, didn't he? He's been a brilliant servant for Swiss international team and various clubs as Olise delivers the ball into the box. Kane looking to get his header. It's brilliant defending. Matteo Darmian, who's got the captain's armband for the final 4 minutes. Here's Coman, left-footed cross, easily headed away. Inter trying to break, but there's no give here. Bayern are pinning the Italian champions back here. Elise is just left it short. Bisek is really looking to make himself a presence there. The switch is on here for Elise with Bisek out of position. Excellent defending. That is outstanding. Just comes across on the cover. Here's Kimmich. Finds Pavlovic. Here's Coman now. Trying to drop the shoulder. Oh, he's committed the foul and it's a free kick. 3 minutes gone. 3 minutes remain here as Darmian just dangles a foot out. Coman takes the foul. And it's a free kick here for Bayern Munich. It really is now or never. Look at the Inter bench. They're just waiting to pour out in celebration. But they're all wait in anticipation. Bayern Munich have got their keeper flooding the box too. Urbig's in the box. Young goalkeeper. Will he be the unlikely hero? Look at the Inter way of defending. They really have packed the box. There's absolutely no time or space for any player. This delivery's got to be spot on. And luckily for Bayern, they have one of the best delivers off the ball in Joshua Kimmich. Vincent Kompany not happy with the fourth official. Inter successfully just eaten away a minute here. It's Joshua Kimmich. Might just scoop this in. Lays it off. It's Gnabry. Oh, they've worked it short. It's poor. It almost finds the keeper. This is very patient. Olise thought about the shot. It's Pavlovic. Clipping the ball in. Should be the keeper's favorite. Good defending again. What a wasted effort that was, man. I can't believe he went short there, Joshua Kimmich, considering how brilliant he is with his deliveries. That's terrible. Getting the ball into the box here. Oh, another hopeless delivery there. Bayern Munich might just go out in a whimper here. Not really threatening the goal. Need to throw everything that they've got here. Clip past header. Muller! Oh, just saved. Thomas Muller's header. He was leaning back. He was never really going to get the pace on it. Well, they've had chances, haven't they? Right at the end. It was Kane first and then Muller. Muller's positioning really is special, but not enough power on it to trouble Jan Sommer from there. Manuel Neuer watches on from the bench as Inter Milan are 45 seconds away from clinching a spot in the semi-finals of the Champions League where Barcelona await. What a game that's going to be. A repeat of the 2009-2010 Champions League semi-final. You can see Inter Milan just trying to waste a bit of time on the bench. A couple of yellow cards being brandished by the referee. Bayern Munich want the game to move on here. They really are running out of time. Vincent Kompany, who got the chance of a lifetime, didn't he, to manage the great club of Bayern Munich after being relegated. My Burnley, as you can see what happened there, just a push on the ball boy. 6 minutes are done here for Bayern Munich. They're playing on borrowed time now. Gnabry on the right-hand side. Olise is there. Sides against it. Here's Kimmich. Here's Olise again. Here's Michael Olise. Look to drop the shoulder. Again, there's no space. Kimmich on the overlap. Clip ball into the box. Trying to find Harry Kane. Well defended. Ball doesn't drop. Kingsley Coman's over. And that should be that. And the referee blows the full-time whistle. And it's Inter Milan and Simone Inzaghi who are in the semi-finals to face Barcelona. Incredible scenes. 2-2 on the night at San Siro. And they have done the job. And now we're into stoppage time here at the Santiago Bernabeu. No change in the scoreline since Vinicius scored that fortuitous goal, which was handed it to him on a plate. And Arsenal have thoroughly deserved this. Here's Rice. Finds Trossard. 4 minutes plus stoppage time remain. They can just keep the ball in the corner here. Needless ball into the box there from Trossard, which has been intercepted. But for all the firepower that Real Madrid have had and threatened to have, on paper it looks great, but Arsenal have just put in the blueprint of how to shut them down completely. Kylian Mbappe blanking in both games. Vinicius scoring, like I said, an absolute gift. But other than that, Real Madrid have scored just one goal against Arsenal in the Champions League in all the history, and it is Vinicius there. Arsenal can wrap this up. Odegaard. It's Odegaard sting the palms of Courtois. Again, it's Arsenal doing the attacking here. They don't have to, but still it's them. Odegaard with his right foot. Could have hit it with his left. Sided against him. Well, Real Madrid are all but put to the sword here. Arteta is bringing on Kieran Tierney with 3 minutes per stoppage time remaining here. Fed onto the right-hand side. Again, fully expecting a cross into the box here. And right on cue, the ball comes in and it's so comfortably dealt with by Jakub Kiwior. Again, there's a chance here for Arsenal to break here. And it's Gabriel Martinelli, one-on-one. Martinelli to wrap it up and seal it. They have won at home and they have won away. Saka scored the first, Martinelli the second. And Arsenal have destroyed Real Madrid 5-1 on aggregate. And no one can say that they do not deserve it. And they will face Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals. Gabriel Martinelli gets his second goal in the Champions League. What a time and what a place to score it. Dejected look on the Real Madrid players' faces, but they know they've been roundly beaten. It's another cross into the box. It's so poor from Real Madrid, and now they can break. You can see Mikel Merino, who's got his second assist of the evening. Martinelli was through on goal. He was onside because the pass was played while he was in his own half, and then one-on-one against Courtois just opens his body up and just finds the far corner. Well, Arsenal have not just kept Real Madrid away, they have beaten Real Madrid at their own patch. Incredible scenes. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal thoroughly deserve this one. It's all over. 5-1 on aggregate. Well, there will be consequences for Real Madrid. There really will be. It's not often that they get absolutely handed on a plate here. Well, Arsenal and Arteta making a double substitution. Kieran Tierney and Alexander Zinchenko coming on. Two left backs for Arsenal, looking to just run down the clock here. And there'll be massive celebrations. And that small corner right on top of the Santiago Bernabeu, where the Arsenal fans are packed in there, will be in raptures in about 30 seconds as Ben White enters the fray too. Three fullbacks coming on for Arsenal, looking to just lock it down. And it's Declan Rice who will come off. Man of the match, Declan Rice. Look at the Arsenal fans. They've got their shirts off. They are having an absolute party there. And they will party all night in Madrid. You can bet your dollar that they will. They've made the trip. They knew that it could go pear-shaped for them. But what they've seen is their players go out there and beat Real Madrid at their own patch. 5 minutes of stoppage time concluded here. The referee just playing just maybe an extra minute or so. Gabriel Martinelli scoring in the 93rd minute after Bukayo Saka scored the first. Arsenal in their limited attacks outplaying Real Madrid at their own game here. They've played the low block, they've played the deep block, made it impossible for Real Madrid to open them up. And it's Arsenal who will face PSG in the semi-finals of the Champions League. The big, scary Real Madrid have been slain by Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. 2-1 on the night, 5-1 on aggregate. It's a tremendous performance from Arsenal, who will face PSG in the semi-finals. And on the other side of the bracket, it will be Barcelona versus Inter Milan. The semi-finals is set for the Champions League in the 2024-25 season. Brilliant match week again in the Champions League. Congratulations to Arsenal and Inter Milan.